YouTube conversation about street gangs. I'm the father of a murdered child. My son was murdered. It's getting close to a year ago that my son was murdered on the streets of Sacramento. Shot in the back of the head while he was sitting at a stop traffic light. And it's ironic because he and I were just having a conversation 2 days before his murder about the fact that I was telling him that he's 30. I was like, Joe, you're 32 years old. It's time to hang up the gang signs and do whatever you need to do to get out. Got a 3-year-old daughter he's trying to raise. I haven't spoken much about my son over his last 10 months or so. It was tough. Joe and I had become pretty good friends. We went through a lot over his lifetime. And I can remember, taking him to the ball game. Well, yeah, I had him in baseball when he was a little boy. When he was like 8, 9 years old. And I used to take him to the game. I'd sit and watch his games. Baseball was my passion. I was hoping that it would be his as well. And so, I had him going to the game. I mean, I had him playing and everything. And, I used to take him to games, to A's games. I used to work for the Oakland A's, so, I could get my kids in free. Management didn't like that, but I didn't give a damn. I still got them in free, and they were going to have to come tell me that I couldn't do it before I was going to stop. This conversation is sparked by another conversation I just had with a guy on YouTube here. I'm not sure what the guy does on like I had made a statement about a group out of Chicago, the Vice Lords, and I watched a video documentary on them, and having been an ex correctional officer for the state of California at San Quentin, I learned a lot about gangs from them, at the academy. They spend a good deal of time teaching you about that because in prison, gangs are the way of life, so to speak. I can kind of understand in prison, in that setting, I can kind of understand why a person might join a gang or feel a need to be in a gang. I can kind of understand that there because the logic is that if you belong to a gang, especially a strong gang like the BGF or the Norteños or the Aryan Brotherhood, those are all serious gangs. They're very strong, and I can understand the need or the want to do that. Although I actually fault the state of California for being perpetrators of that, because if the state would stop playing that stupid ass game of black, white, Mexican bullshit, because we're all people. Fuck that color of your skin crap, okay? The state is playing a stupid ass game, and they're basically enabling the gangs to flourish. But if you think about it, or at least I thought about it, and having been there and seen the behind the scenes crap that goes on, the state does that shit on purpose. I believe they do that shit on purpose. And I think that's to justify jobs, just like any goddamn thing else in this fucking country. It's always money based. Take away the gangs and take away some of the fucking cadre that they have. We need as many captains and lieutenants and motherfuckers making all that money that they make if you didn't have the gang shit going on. To be honest with you, my idea of what they ought to do, and I know a lot of you guys are going to say, man, he's vicious. I'm not being vicious. You take a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers like that, because anybody that's stupid enough to get in a motherfucking gang, anybody that's that goddamn weak-minded to do that, They don't belong in society anyway, in my opinion. I mean, this is my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. But what I am saying is this. If you to take all them fucking idiotic gang motherfuckers and stick them in the goddamn lower yard down San Quentin and tell them, go for it, motherfuckers. Let the strongest motherfuckers come out, because when this is over, the games will be no more. Like I say, it's not that hard to do away with something that doesn't make sense if you wanted to. The state of California doesn't want to. Obviously, they don't want to. Because, like I say, look, these motherfuckers. I don't know how many of you guys that are watching this remember the that little fruit fly or whatever the hell that I forgot the name of that West Nile fly or whatever they call it. They eradicated that son of a bitch. You don't hear nothing about that motherfucker no more. Here's a goddamn fly that's free to go where the hell it wants. Yet we were able to corral it, so to speak, and control it and kill it. You mean to tell me? And flies don't have brains. We do. So what? So you mean to tell me we can't talk to people who have a little bit lesser brains than the average of us do, and get them to see the value of not doing that dumb shit, or at least stop doing that shit? And like I said, if you look at, I've watched documentaries on other prisons around the country, and I'm going to use the state of Michigan for one. They don't have a fucking gang problem because they don't have gangs. Because Michigan don't play that black, white, Mexican bullshit. It would be so easy to get to stop doing the gang fucking banging bullshit in California if they wanted to. So here's what happens: these motherfuckers go in prison. Maybe they don't be in gangs when they get there, but a lot of them come out of there in them. Now they're on the street, gang bang. I mean, and then maybe our laws are just not fucking tough enough. What's good is if you're gonna, bust a motherfucker for doing some stupid shit like robbing and stealing and going on, if you're just gonna let him right back out and he's gonna do the same goddamn thing. Maybe we need to do something a little different. Maybe we ought to do some shit like what they do in other countries where you steal something, we cut off your motherfucking fingers. Now steal something. All these old motherfucking rights and shit that we give inmates and criminals. Do they give the same rights to us? Hell no. So why in the fuck do we give it to them? We give it to them because you got lawyers that are willing to go to bat for them and make good money off the state by defending them and bringing up all this bullshit. But the bottom line is, fuck them, that rights crap, okay? I agree that maybe you ought to have a right to a lawyer, but you don't have to have a right to live if that's the kind of person you are. Because one thing I know for a fact, and I'm not even a medical person, okay? I'm not. But it don't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure this out. When a person has the capability to do certain things, like take me for instance, I've never been to prison. I went to jail one time in my life on a domestic violence thing that really wasn't domestic violence. I just swing at the bitch. All I did was reach down in her titty, because I thought my keys were down there, and my daughter jumped up and I thought we were gonna fight, so she runs out the door. But you know what? In Sacramento, they make money off motherfuckers that get involved in domestic violence. It's a money thing. It's a money grab. Bullshit. Let me tell you something else. Throughout that whole ordeal for me with that domestic violence bullshit, nobody, and I mean nobody, no fucking body. Do you hear me? Let me say it one more time. Nobody asked me for a statement. Not the police, not the district attorney, not the judge, not my fucked up ass public defender. Nobody. I ended up having to go get a real lawyer and pay him. It cost me $1,000 that I really couldn't afford to keep myself from going to jail to keep them from putting a restraining order on me, because at that time my daughter was only 5 or 6 years old, and not talking to her stupid ass mother was not going to happen. That just was not going to happen. I don't even understand why a state thinks that it can just separate. See, they do that shit on purpose too, because most of the people in jail for domestic violence are black folks. Separate the father and take him out to home. What do you got? A broken home with no father in it. A broken home without no father in it is a home just asking for those children to grow up and be at a disadvantage right off the top. It's white folks' way of divide and conquer. Clearly, make no mistake. And see what happens is people that don't go to jail don't think about jail. It's just like those of you who see this, have you out of you who are looking at who might look at this, have you ever been to jail and ate the food there? See, that bullshit that they feed people in jail, nobody fucking dogs shouldn't eat that shit, okay? And I'm gonna tell you right now, you got to know that rats, roaches, and every other thing that bit on that food because nobody gives a fuck. And the reason I asked you said to you, has anybody been there and ate the food? Because I know most of you haven't. People that don't do certain things don't worry about certain things and don't even think about it. People that need to be thinking about it, that need to try to change the way things are done. Because just because a person has, robbed somebody or stolen something out of the store or stole a car or done any of those things, well, if you think that they're if you think that they are able to be rehabilitated, then don't you think you ought to still feed them decent food? Nobody wants to eat that slop that they fix in prisons right now. Sooner or later, that person's going to get out unless he commits some kind of heinous murder. Even some murderers get out after 7, 8, 9 years. Point is, at some point, that person's going to get out. So what? He doesn't deserve to eat nothing decent. I mean, there's a whole lot of things I could talk about in that in that jail vernacular. But let's get back to the main thing. We're talking about the gang. I'll do something about that. I'm going to talk about those issues with prisons and jails on another. But right now, I'm talking about gangs. It's important, and this is why I try to stay close to my son. I had to tell his mother, like, granted, granted, she is not of the best character of people, so I'm not pleased with her at all. And to be honest with you, I don't think she deserves to be around my son. However, that is his mother. I have to still respect that. No matter how fucked up of a person she is, she did happen. I still love her for that. I love her for having my son and my daughter. That's the only thing I love her for. I don't love her for nothing else because she's a ratchet ass bitch, and that's another goddamn video. But anyway, my point is, we have to get across. Fathers need to stick with their sons. See, I'm planning on sticking with my 3-year-old. I'm going wherever he goes. He goes to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom. He goes to the store, I'm going to the store. He gets in gangs, I'm getting in the gang too with it. See how much the gang does with me up sitting up in there. It ain't happening. He ain't going. I'll tell you that right now, because the gang ain't gonna let me in. They ain't gonna let me in. And he ain't getting in either. And that's the reason why I'm gonna stick with him. And I'm gonna make damn sure that I'm staying on this earth at least long enough to get him out of high school. I can't guarantee college, but high school. I'm gonna be here till he graduates. Bet. Because ain't no goddamn gang getting a hold of my motherfucking son. And that's the bottom line. They had one. I lost one son that fucked up ass streets of Sacramento. I have no intention of losing two. None. Gangs are fucked up. I don't know how weak-minded you gotta be in order for to be talked into, hey, come get in the gang. Yeah, we're gonna have your back. Gangs don't have your back. They don't do a goddamn thing. When you get your ass on a fucking sling, they're gone. Where are you? Look around. You go rob a liquor store, where's your gangs? Just stop and put your gun down for a minute and look around. You don't see no motherfucking gang member there trying to help you get away. That's not what they do. They don't do a goddamn thing but use foot soldiers. The whole concept of gangs is stupid, and the retirement system sucks. You either die or you go to prison. Those are your two retirement options. They don't just let you out. You got to get jumped out or beat out or something, and that's the only way you can get out unless you get killed or go to prison. They'll even bail if you go to prison. You can still be in the gang, but that's where they employ is in prison. But they're on the streets too. fathers, if any fathers are watching this, you got to stick with them boys and stick with them. You have to. You have to. Because, if you leave them out there with too much free time on their hands, see, and then maybe that's how I didn't go to gangs either, because I wasn't allowed out. Like I couldn't just tell my mom, "Hey, mom, I'll be back. I'm going out to play." My mother said, "You going out to play? The fuck you mean you going out to play? You better tell me where the hell you're going and what time you're coming back." It worked though. You don't see me in gang. One gang I belonged to was the state of California correctional gang. Oh yeah, I used to belong to the Oakland A's security guard gang, and I belonged to AC Transit bus driving gang. My point is, you got to stick with these boys. You got to stay on them. You got to know where they are. My mother didn't let me out the house unless I knew where I was going, how long I was going to be there, and what time I'd be back home. And if I deviated from any of those things, I got my ass whipped. I'm not advocating that going around whipping people's asses, but you know what the honest God truth is on that? People have to have some threat of physical harm in order to get them to do the right thing. Case in point, my ass. Look at her. Nobody's kicking her ass. What's she doing? Fucking everybody she feels like fucking. Just out there being a general hoe. That's because she ain't got nobody to kick her ass. See, we men can't do that no more. So consequently, these ignorant ass hair hat hood rats are out there doing whatever the fuck they want. Giving the pussy this nigga, that nigga, the other nigga, because ain't nobody there to whoop their motherfucking ass and stop them doing it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I don't give a fuck. The bottom line is, like I was saying earlier, when you're talking about people have to have some threat of physical violence in order to do the right thing. That's just a fact of fucking life, okay? Because it doesn't, the mindset doesn't get on autopilot until you get about 50. Again, I'm just being real. In order to keep people from doing stealing and shit, what do you gotta do? Threaten them with jail. And some people that don't deter them. They still doing it. Go to jail. People are not that smart just on their own. They just aren't. A lot of people. I'm not saying and let me say this. Anytime I'm talking about anything, I'm generalizing. I'm not speaking, I'm sure somebody's looking at this saying, "Oh, I don't do this." Well, I'm not talking about you. You don't fit, put it down. So if the shoe fits, put it on. People need to be responsible for their actions. I'm still trying to figure out, one of the thoughts that I have on a regular basis is, here we are in 2019, and people are still doing stupid shit to go to jail. I mean, think about this. How many successful people have you seen get successful by stealing? I mean, it's a fucking, what are you, stupid? You have to be a motherfucking idiot to not know that there's nobody getting rich because they were out there and stole something and got rich from stealing. Because if you stole something, if anybody knows you got it, where you got it from, you got to give it back at some point. If it's really something valuable, only thing you wouldn't have to give back is some coins or dollars that's been stolen. That's only because we don't have a value system yet or a way of making it to where I'll know that was my dollar, because all dollars have George Washington's face on them. We don't know $1 from the other. There needs to be a way to do that. I'm sure somebody will figure that out. Maybe I'll sit down one day and get bored enough to figure it out my damn self. My point is, for this video, we got to keep our kids out of gangs, okay? If any kids are watching this, I need you to understand that going into gangs is not going to make you a better person. And the gangs are not going to really be there when you need them to. If you got parents worth a damn, they will be. I'm one of those parents that's worth a damn, and I'm there. I'm riding dying with you no matter what you do. Unless the only thing I ain't with you on, like I will go and do whatever I need to do for any of my children. If because my mother tell me, "Hey, I'm telling you this right now, Marvin. You go to jail, I'm not coming to see you." Well, that was some ignorant ass thinking, because that's when I needed her to come see me. Everybody said my mother was the smartest person in the world, but I'm smarter than her. if my kids go to jail, if I can, and it's a bit, and there's a way for me to get there, I will be there and come see you. Now that don't mean I want you going to jail, okay? Don't think, okay, Dad said he's coming to see. Yeah, Dad's gonna come see you because I love you, but I don't want to see you there. That's what my mother should have saying to me instead of saying that ignorant shit she tells me. I'm not gonna come see you. I believed it because I think that's just how fucked up she was that she would have did some shit like that. But that's not being a good parent, in my opinion. I didn't think much of her and her parenting skills either. Stay out of gangs and stay out of prison. I'm gonna hang with my son. Bet you can do what the hell you want, but don't say nobody didn't tell you. Until next time I see you, angels fly because they take themselves lightly. Perhaps we all should. Hey, I got a new one. Don't bring the gorilla home from the zoo. I'll expound on that a little more the next time I see you. Good night.